Okay, next I want to show you how to locate errors and the different error options for correcting them once you have them in one of your spreadsheets. So in collecting data, you are more than likely going to come across error messages that pop up every so often rather than the actual output that you're wanting based on the function you're telling Excel to do. So I've put a couple of examples over here on our fees page, and I just want to go over those with you real quick. So I've got two of them on here. Both of them are going to be a name error. And just so you know, where it has the number sign, name, and question mark, instead of name, it might say ref, R-E-F, or it might say div, D-I-V, or it could be N-A, or it could say number. So the pound sign and the question mark is what tells you that there's an error, and then whatever the word is in between that kind of guides you from there on what kind of error it is. With the data that we collect for our educational purposes, more than likely it's going to be a name error, so I'm going to focus just on that one. However, all of them have the same way of going in and correcting them. So when you get an error, it's when you have put in a formula that you want Excel to read. And what's going to happen is when you click in the cell, it's going to give you the caution sign on the left. So just click on that little down arrow. And the three I want to focus on right now for correcting your error and figuring out what it is the help on this error, trace error, and edit in formula bar. So the tracing error is the same as the tracing dependence and precedence. So I'm just going to do that one first. If you click on that, it's going to give you errors or arrows telling you exactly what information is leading to the formula that has the error. So I know that my class fees for this particular student and the field trip money for this particular student, something's going on with that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my arrows now, and I know exactly where it's coming from. So I can come back over to my caution sign, and I'm going to do help on this error. And with Excel, anytime you click on the help button, it's going to pop up a separate box that will give you different options or ideas of what you can do or what is going wrong in your spreadsheet. So for this help error, tells you I see pound name question mark instead of the content and some cells, and it's going to give you the main causes for why you're going to see that error message instead. So you can look at each one of those and see what you can do to just double check and see what's going on. The most common one that you're going to do and run across in Excel is the double quotation marks. And you've heard me repeat that so many times now. Always make sure you have your quotation marks. If you don't, you'll get an error message like this. So, but it could be that you've chosen arrange references using a colon instead of, or using something other than the colon, and so it's telling you to put a colon in instead. Edit the formula to correct the spelling if you've misspelled a function name. I'll show you that in just a second. So that is just the help function of getting to the root of your error message. I'm going to click out of that. And if I click on my down arrow, then I can edit in the formula bar. Once you figure out what your problem is that you can correct, if you could just click edit in the formula bar instead of retyping in your entire formula, it's just going to pop you up here and let you do what you want. So remember I told you quotation marks are a biggie, and you can tell in this formula right here I did not do my quotation marks on my if statement. So I can come right inside my parentheses now. I can add my quotation marks so that Excel knows what I'm actually wanting it to say. And when I hit return, all of a sudden now it says not paid instead of my error message. So that was the root of the evil in that one, I guess. So the other error message that I put in here is in calculating the class fees. So I was going to do an equal sum function, and remember it said if you have an incorrect spelling, well, I can again do my drop down arrow. I can trace it and see that it's just trying to calculate this data right here. I'm going to remove the arrows. I can ask for help on this error, and again just look at some of the things. Is it trying to name a cell that's not defined? No, that cell is defined. Anything like that. So you can just kind of look through those and see what they could be. And X out of there. And now I'm going to edit it in my formula bar. So as I look closer in the formula bar, instead of equal sum, I put equal sun. So I'm just going to click in there and correct my spelling, and you can see it automatically starts pulling in exactly what the formula should be, which is always a good sign. And I'm going to hit return, and now it gives me the total dollar amounts, and I have fixed that error. So that is just a quick overview on when you do get an error message, what you can do to figure out what happened.